Hey YouTube, Jedi Fuka here. In this video I want to talk about this Lunar Halo Radiance event. So a few things, I'm going to give some raw opinions on this, some good, some bad, unfortunately some bad, but the main thing is I really would like to get this champion, and I hope all of you guys have the opportunity to get her because she has an amazing kit. She pairs really good with other Radiant heroes, and I think she's going to be a massive boost to most people's account. So I think they did really good on the champion. The design is good, the skills are good, definitely one worth going for. Now, the negative part is I think it's actually going to be harder than most people are making it out to be, in all honesty. The reason being is I think you're going to have to pull the minimum 60 in here to get these shards for most people, because the chief challenges are not easy. So first of all, we're going to go through some of this. The Moonlight Dungeon event is going to be super easy to do. Definitely do it. Even if you're not going for this, do it, because you're getting resources when you do this. So you should easily get the 90 on here, but you need 200 for the champion. So we're going to get 90 on here with the 60 on here. That's going to put us at 150. We still need to get this up to 50. Now, what is so hard about getting this up to 50 is going to be that this is a 3-week event. We get the first week 3 bosses, second week only 4, and then the final week 6 bosses. If you can push 11 mil on each boss, you get 4 shards for each boss the first week. That's like 12. 4 shards the next week, that's another 16. And then 4 shards in the last week. Honestly, you're probably not getting 4 shards in the last week. Doing all 6 bosses, 4 shards, no. So here is where my issue comes in with the event, and that is the continental challenges. So I'm going to break this down real quick, and why I think this is going to be very hard for free-to-play players, and very hard for people who didn't play from Season 0. So for me, myself, I played from Season 0. I have a lot of good characters. I've been working on just grinding and building up characters until this event came out. So as you can see, I got quite a few build up. I still have resources to build another 3 or 4, which I'm gonna have to do to even push my damage up in here. And the thing is I built out like my A teams from last season because they were doing wonderful during this season. I think these bosses are somewhat designed for some of the new champions maybe. But we're going to jump into this. I'm going to show you some of my issues. So this guy right here, to me, he's probably one of the easier ones to hit the 11 mil, being a summon champion. For me, I hit 16 mil on him. I'll see if it shows, not sure. No, it's not going to show. I can't show you my heroes that I use in it, but I use my fire team in here. Did 16 mil, but my fire team was also fairly OP for an account. So we'll go in here and show you. I used these 5 right here basically. So I had Ripicus as my tank, plus he did turn meter control. I had Torn here, which I just pulled this season, doing some heals, did an amazing job. And then my other support was Joran here. He was doing my decrease attack and also more turn meter control, and then damage with these 2. We hit 16 mil before Ripicus fell, and then as soon as he fell, the rest of the team fell. Now, going on to the other ones, and this is where I'm saying if I'm having a hard time, it's going to be hard for a lot of you. Right here is going to be the lightning damage one. I built my Dauntless team out for this. Most Dauntless champions are melee. The issue is this champion hits all control up front. My Dauntless team is barely hitting the bottom tiers on him. Like, I think my max damage right now is like 7-ish mil with them. So I'm gonna have to go in and build a champion like let's see where she's at. And this is just to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to try to make it better. So I'm going to go build Lydia maybe. She gets this control immunity. If I can get it timed to get those controls to start being blocked, I might be able to beat that boss. My issue with that boss too is that I'm pushing up my resistance, and resistance doesn't seem to affect the controls like it does the debuff. So I stopped getting debuff, but I'm still getting tons of control immunity. Now for the other boss is this guy right here doing the cold damage taken. Once again on this one, I'm hitting like 10 mil. I just need to revamp a little bit to hit the 11 mil mark, so I'm very close. But also, I'm using an OP team, which is gonna, it means if I'm having a hard time, it's gonna be hard for you guys who don't have all these champions. So this is the team I'm using right here. I've switched in and out Garius. I've tried different little routes with it playing around. I usually get about the same, but Voresh doing my at first I had him doing my decreased defense with the Witch's Remains because multi-attack, and then I switched him to an attack champion. It didn't really make a difference. I had him, my Sagomir, doing my decreased attack, get my heals right here with the defense up. And then I had switched him from damage to the Witch's Remains when I took Voresh out of it. And then my Oster doing my massive damage. So a fairly OP team. Now if you guys played last season, you probably have Dritz. The rest of these champions, unless you're lucky, you don't have all of these. So it's a hard team to put together. So the other thing that makes this challenge hard is that these cheap challenges were originally designed for season 3, and you could tell that because starting in season 0, they didn't pop up till for like phase 3. They didn't pop up till phase 3, till end game area. And these chiefs right here are not a light version of those. It's very much the same thing. So it's expecting you to have endgame teams to fight these, and you're not pushing that 22 mil without an endgame team. It's next to impossible unless you just have the exact champions you need. You might be able to hit the 11 mil pushing up, but it's going to be hard to hit that 22 mil. The other issue with it is when you get into week 3 and you're needing 6 teams, we have not had enough time to build up 6 solid teams. So there's no way you're going to be damaging all 6 champions for 11 mil. You might be hitting minimum damage on the last like 2 to 3. Like there's no, I mean, for most people, it's going to be very hard to be hitting 11 mil on all 6 when you get to that last week. So it's going to be hard to collect those shards. And then that's where this little shop comes in. The only way you're going to be able to end up getting the rest of these is going to be if you can buy these. Now, and I don't know if the devs know this, I'm going to point it out in this video. I'll put a little thing in the creator chat, maybe see if anyone else has noticed, but this isn't exchangeable for 25 days. This shop closed after the event ends, and then we're going to go over to the event. The event ends in 25 days. So if they don't correct that, we're not going to be able to pick up the remaining shards before it's over. So that's going to be a little pain for everyone. But all of that to say is that for most of you who are going for this, make sure you have the 60 that you need to pick up everything in here, because you may end up needing them. And then don't pull until the end of the week or the end of the 3 weeks whenever you're about ready, unless you're just trying to go ahead and pull for champions. I might pull a little early because I want to pull some champions and see what I can get. I'm not 100% sure yet, but make sure that you wait till the end, because if you hit to the mark to where you're not going to get this champion and you're not going to pay to get the extra lunar stuff for it, then don't waste your shards. Save them for another event. You know, it's not worth doing that. So anyways, with that all said, I do really love the champion. I do really want to get it. I just think that it's really hard to get, and I hope that they, for next season, make these bosses a little bit easier in the first phase, because of the fact that we're only a month in, yet we're expected to have in-game teams to beat these guys, and that's a little much for anyone who's doing free to play. Unless you end up a couple seasons in, it's going to be hard to keep up with that. Now, one other thing that I wanted to talk about is that for my server, we are now in the set where we have the unlocked extra legendary forge materials. So what this means is when you go into your dungeons, you're getting a lot more legendary gear back. So what I did, and what I hope you guys did, and if you're on servers that are coming up on mine, hopefully you're doing this, but save up a little bit of energy, and once that event starts, just go grind out some legendary gear. That's all I did. Basically, the day that this came out, I just started grinding my legendary gear. For me, I grind my attack gear out more. I put a little more energy into it because I'm trying to get a bunch of crit rate and damage gear. I think putting out that damage is really important. And then I secondaried this gear, and then my last set was this one that I went for. So I still need to put a little bit more into these. I still need a little bit better damage gear. I didn't get very lucky with my damage gear this time. I only got a couple attack percentage chests, only 3, and they don't have any, or 4. They don't have any good substats. And then in my gloves, for my crit rates, I got 3 all inside the exact same set, which makes it hard to like combine sets depending on what you're doing, because it means that I have to automatically use a different set for the broken piece. Why that's been tough for me is with the limited chest I have. If I want to set up like my gamblers for Vortex and stuff and I want to use crit rate gloves, I have to use the gambler's chest, and then I can only set up one champion on it. The other thing is I do have plenty of crit damage gauntlets. The issue with that is I didn't pull much with the crit rate substat, so it's hard for me to use the crit damage gauntlets right now. So I'm still gonna have to grind more attack gear. We'll get to that, but anyways, guys, I hope that you saved a little bit of energy for when that starts. My suggestion for this event, with that being said, is that as soon as this event starts, jump in there, start grinding out your dungeons. Don't do this event until like there's 1 or 2 days left. Go grind up all the gear you can. Like, I still have 2 attacks left because I'm waiting, but grind out all the gear you can and get yourself some runes, build up your champions, and then in the last 2 or 3 days, go and hit this. If you've been playing it out strategically, then what you should have been doing, if you followed some of my other videos, is building up your champions, leveling up as many people as you can, basically running nothing but goblin and some domains during this first section. So you should have plenty of people built from that, and now you can just focus on farming that legendary gear to get some good teams built out for these bosses. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoy this video. Good luck to you if you're going for this champion. I really hope we all have a chance to get it, and I'll talk to you guys when we're done with the event, and we'll see how it went for me. When I do some shard pulls, of course, I'll probably post that as well. So y'all have a good one.